Hello learners, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Sridhar Jalapati. In this video, I'm going to explain you the basic concept required to answer the questions from the topic called boards. And it's a very simple concept, but still I've seen many students getting confusion because of the terminology what we use in this topic. We use a entirely different language altogether, which is different from the regular usage. So if you understand those words, that vocabulary, the terminology, then you can answer these questions quite comfortably. And in this video, not only the basic concept on boards, I will also be covering few questions. And I'm not making any separate video for boards. So in this video itself, I'm covering the introduction part as well as questions from boards. And in the same video, most of the learners might be knowing about questions on escalators. That concept also I'll be covering, because escalator concept and boards concept is almost same. Let's start our discussion. And as I always suggest in my videos, have a pen and paper while watching these videos. And whenever you see a question in the video, pause the video, you try the question first, and then continue the video to check your answer. Let's start our discussion. Let's say in water, there are 2 points, A and B, and the distance between A and B, let us assume d kilometers, and you are at point A with a boat which you have decided to row at x km/h, and you are planning to go to point B. As A to B is an inclined surface, which is not a flat surface, so obviously water flows. Let us assume in this case water flows at the rate of y km/h, and we always know water flows from top to bottom, up to down. So here water is flowing from B to A. Now the situation is something like this. I am at point A, I am planning to go to point B with a boat which I have decided to row at x km/h, and water is flowing from B to A. So since we are rowing against the flow of water, water opposes our motion, and therefore you can go to point B only if x greater than y. Unless you overcome the resistance offered by water, we cannot reach the point B. Let us assume x greater than y. But even though if x greater than y, it's not that you will actually move at x. As water is pushing us back, the resultant motion is x minus y, and this is called upstream speed. By the way, here speed is nothing, stream is nothing but flow of water. Stream is flow of water. Upstream is rowing the boat against the flow of water. Rowing the boat against the flow of water. Now, therefore, time taken to reach B, that is time taken for this upstream journey, is d by x minus y, because normally time is distance by speed. So that is d by, here speed is x minus y, and as I said in our notation, x is boat speed, y is water speed. Let's say I have reached point B, and now I am planning to come back to point A. So in that case, I am traveling from B to A, water is also flowing from B to A, and here I am rowing the boat along with the flow of water, and when I am rowing the boat along with the flow of water, water supports my motion and speed increases and it becomes x plus y, and this is called downstream speed. This is downstream speed. By the way, downstream is rowing along with the flow of water. Then time taken for downstream journey is, time is distance by speed, that is d by x plus y. Here x is boat speed, y is water speed. So with your common sense, you can easily find out time taken for upstream journey is more than the time taken for downstream journey. Time taken for upstream journey is more than the time taken for downstream journey, because in case of upstream journey, we row the boat against the flow of water, so water opposes, so speed decreases. In case of downstream, we row the boat along with the flow of water, so water supports, speed increases, therefore time decreases. Now, traveling from A to B, and then coming back to A is called round trip journey. That is called round trip journey. So let us calculate the time taken for round trip journey. Time taken for round trip journey is time taken for upstream journey plus time taken for downstream journey. Time taken for upstream journey is d by x minus y plus time taken for downstream journey is d by x plus y. Now you don't have to simplify this equation. You just have to remember this expression or this equation. You need not simplify this and finalize this as a formula. You can leave it there. So if you just follow this terminology from Bode's concept without any difficulty, you can answer the questions comfortably. So let me recollect once again, or let me tell you, whenever you see a word called downstream in the question, just apply this. Time taken for downstream is d by x plus y. If you see a word called upstream in the question, just apply this. Time taken for upstream journey is d by x minus y. And if you see a word called round trip journey in the question, then apply this. Time taken for round trip journey is time taken for upstream journey plus time taken for downstream journey. Just follow this terminology, you can answer the questions. So let us start answering few questions from this concept called boats. And here is the first question. A boat can cover 13 km per hour in still water, and if the speed of the water is 4 km per hour, then what is the time taken by the boat to travel 68 km downstream? Very simple question. So you as the word is downstream in the question, as I said, time taken for downstream journey is d by x plus y. So here time taken is something which we are asked to find. Distance is given. X is boat speed, which is 13. Y is water speed, which is 4. So 68 by 17, which is 4 km per hour. That is the time taken. 4 hours. You are asked to find time, which is 4 hours. Now, stream is nothing but flow of water. Let's move to the next question. So, as I always say, pause the video, read the question, you try first, and then continue the video to check your answer. A motorboat whose speed is 15 km per hour in still water, this is x, goes 30 km downstream and comes back in a total of 4.5 hours. Then what is the speed of the stream? So you are asked to find y. This distance is given. So if you, after reading the information, it's very clear that the boat is going to a place and coming back. So this is round trip journey. Therefore, what is the expression we write for round trip journey? Time taken for round trip journey is d by x minus y plus d by x plus y. So time is given as 4.5 hours. That is 4 1 by 2, which I can take it as 9 by 2 is equal to d is given 30, x is given 15, y we do not know, plus 30 by x plus y. X is given 15, y is something which we are asked to find. So if I simplify this further, on the right hand side from these two expressions I am taking 30 common. So LCM of 15 minus y and 15 plus y is a plus b into a minus b, a square minus b square, that is 225 minus y square. And in the numerator, this will become 15 plus y plus 15 minus y plus y minus y get cancelled, 30. I think simplification is something which you all can perform. So on further simplification, 30 is 900, 9 ones, 9 hundreds. On further simplification, 225 minus y square is equal to 200 in cross multiplication. So y square 25, y is equal to 5. Actually, we will get plus or minus 5, but speed cannot be negative. Therefore, speed of stream is 5 km per hour. We haven't done anything magic. As the question is involved with round trip journey, I have written the expression except y value, everything is given in the question, that we found by solving. Here you can solve this equation to find y, or if you feel that solving is little lengthy, complicated, time consuming, then in this expression take values for y from the options. Whichever option satisfy, that is the answer. For example, if you take this one, then 30 by 15 minus 2, 13, 15 plus 2, 17. I don't think those will give you integer values. And if you substitute second option also, you won't get third option. So you can go by options verification as well, or you can solve the equation. Thank you, and let's move to the third question. A man takes twice as long to row a distance against the stream as to row the same distance in favor of the stream. So you just need to understand this statement, that is, time taken for upstream journey is twice the time taken for downstream journey. That is the meaning of this statement. Then what is the ratio of the speed of the boat in still water to the stream? So time taken for upstream journey is d by x minus y is equal to 2 times d by x plus y. And if I simplify this further, both sides d get cancelled. On further simplification, we will be getting 2x minus 2y is equal to x plus y. Then all x terms one side, constants are, y terms one side. Then you will be getting x by y is equal to 3 by 1. So the ratio of the speed of the boat to the speed of the stream is 3:1. That is option A. Let's move to fourth question. A man can row 12 km per hour in still water. So this is X. He finds that it takes him thrice as much time to row up the river as to row down the river. So this is something similar to the previous. So time taken for upstream journey is 3 times the time taken for downstream journey. Then d by x12 minus y is something which we do not know, and 3 times d by 12 plus y. So on further simplification, both sides dd get cancelled, and if I cross multiply, 12 plus y is equal to 36 minus 3y. That implies y is equal 4y is equal to 24, y is equal to 6. Y is nothing but speed of stream or flow of water, the rate at which water is flowing, 6 km per hour. But you are not asked to find what is the speed of stream. You are asked to find how much time the person takes to travel 54 km upstream in that same river. So time taken for upstream journey is d by x minus y. So time taken is equal to distance is given as 54 kilometers, x is given 12, y is not given, but just now we found. So it becomes 54 by 6, which is 9 hours. So the person takes 9 hours to cover the distance, which is option B. Let's move to the next example from boards. Hope you are getting these questions. I'm not doing any magic. I'm just following the terminology: upstream, downstream, round trip journey. A person challenged himself to cross a small river and back. His speed of boat in still water is 3 km per hour, which is x. And he calculated the speed of the river, which is 1 km per hour. This is y. So we are given with x and y. And it took him 30 minutes more to cover the distance upstream than that he took for downstream. So here time taken for upstream journey is time taken for downstream journey plus half an hour extra. 30 minutes more, half an hour extra. So what are the values we are given with? D is not given, by x is given, which is 3, minus y is given, which is 1, is equal to d by 3 plus 1 plus 1 by 2. Why I have taken 30 minutes as half an hour? Because distance, speed, everything is in kilometer per hour, so time should be in hours. If I simplify this further, d by 2 minus d by 4 is equal to 1 by 2. On further simplification, here LCM is 4, 2d minus d by 4 is equal to 1 by 2. That is d is equal to 2 kilometers. Therefore, the width of the river is 2 kilometers. That is option C. Let's move to the next example. As I said, in this video we will be discussing questions on escalator as well. Escalator concept is almost same as boat's concept. The way rowing the boat along with the flow of water is downstream, against the flow of water is upstream. Here also we have two types of escalators: moving upwards escalators, moving downwards escalators. In an escalator which is moving up, if we are also walking in the same direction, this becomes downstream. Whereas escalator is moving down, but you are trying to go up, or escalator is moving up, you are trying to go down, this becomes upstream. Moving the way the escalator is moving, downstream. Moving against the motion of the escalator is upstream. Similar concept we can apply here to answer the questions. Now let's see what this example saying. Shruti takes 40 seconds to walk up on an upward moving escalator. So she is walking up escalator is also moving up, but she takes 60 seconds to walk up on a downward moving escalator. So when the escalator is moving down and she is walking up, she takes 60 seconds. So this is something like the first one is downstream journey, the second one is upstream journey. You are asked to find how much time Shruti takes if the escalator is not moving. Now, since we are given with the time, I am just following a simple method here. As the time is 40 seconds and 20 seconds, I am just taking the LCM of 40 and 60 to make the question easy. LCM of 40 and 60 is 120. I am assuming there are 120 steps on the escalator. Now, you can call this as distance here. Now, when escalator is moving up and Shruti is also walking up, what happens? It becomes downstream journey. So, to travel 120 steps in case of downstream journey, that is distance by x plus y. X is Shruti's speed, which is not given, and let us assume the speed of the escalator as e. Let us assume the speed of the Shruti as s, speed of escalator as e, then this becomes s plus e, and time is given as 40 seconds. So 40 is equal to 120 by s plus e, that implies s plus e is equal to 3. Now this time for the same 120 steps, when Shruti was going in wrong direction, I can say when escalator is moving down and she is walking up, that is it's like upstream journey. So time taken for upstream journey d, and d is given as 60 is equal to s minus e, Shruti speed minus escalator speed. So on further simplification, s minus e is 120 by 62. On solving these two, I will be getting it as s is equal to 2s is equal to 5. That implies s is equal to 5 by 2. Shruti speed we found. If you are asked to find escalator speed, then you can substitute s in any of these equations. You will get escalator speed. But we are not asked to find escalator speed. You are asked to calculate how much time Shruti will take if the escalator is not moving. Even though the escalator is not moving, but the number of steps on the escalator remains same, which is 120. So now time taken by Shruti to move those 120 steps, to cover those 120 steps at her speed, which is 5 by 2, which is 5 by 2. So this becomes 120 into 2 by 5, that is 48 seconds. She takes 48 seconds. Hope you understood this. Here, when the escalator is moving up, she is also moving up. That becomes downstream journey. When escalator is moving down, she is walking up. That becomes upstream journey. In my notation, s is Shruti speed, e is escalator speed. Let's move to the next question. When Amit walks down, he takes 1 minute on an escalator which is moving down, but takes 40 seconds when he runs down. When he walks down, he takes 1 minute. When he runs down, he takes 40 seconds. And he takes 20 steps when he is walking up, whereas 30 steps when he is running. So you pause the video, read the question till you understand the information, and then solve it, then continue the video to check your answer. So in both case is making a journey which is the direction in which the escalator is moving. But in one case he is walking, in the other case he is running. It's not that he is going against the escalator. In both cases he is moving along with the escalator. In one case he is walking, in the other case he is running. So when Amit walks down, he took 1 minute. Let the speed of the escalator be e steps per minute. Let the speed of the escalator be e steps per minute. So in case of let the speed of the escalator be e. So when he is walking down, that is 1 minute is nothing but 60 steps, 60 minutes. So 60 e plus, when he walking down, he took 20 steps, is equal to, when he runs down, he took 40 seconds. So 40 e plus 30 steps. Let me explain this in detail. Here E is the speed of the escalator, which I am assuming as E steps per minute, or let's say second, as the question is given in terms of second. E steps per second. So in the first case, as it took 1 minute for him, he was on the escalator for 1 minute, that is for 60 seconds. So escalator helped him for 60 seconds at the rate of E steps per second, so 60 E, and he moved 20 steps. So total number of steps on the escalator is 60 E plus 20 E. When he is running, he spent 40 seconds on the escalator. So escalator helped him 40 E steps, where E is speed, which is the speed of the escalator, and he took 30 steps. So these are the total number of steps on the escalator when he was running down. But whether he is walking down or running down, the number of steps on the escalator should be constant. So if I simplify this, I will be getting 20 E is equal to 10. So E is equal to 10 by 20, that is half. So this is the speed of the escalator, which is half steps for every second. Now you are asked to find the total number of steps on the escalator. So if I substitute this E value either here or here, I will be getting the total number of steps on the escalator, that is 60 into half plus 20, which is 50. Or if I substitute here 40 into half plus 30, which is again 50. So the number of steps on the escalator is 50. Let's move to the last question. From escalator concept, which is similar to boats. An escalator is moving upwards. Two friends, Charan and Tarak, started moving up the escalator. Charan takes 6 steps a minute and reaches the top in 6 minutes. Tarak takes 11 steps a minute and reaches the top in 5 minutes. So in case of Charan, he spent 6 minutes on the escalator, whereas Tarak, he spent 5 minutes on the escalator. He spent 5 minutes on the escalator. Let the speed of the escalator be E steps per minute, as the question is all about minutes. So I am assuming the speed of the escalator as E steps per minute. So in case of Charan, he took 6 steps a minute. Then in 6 minutes, 6 into 6, 36, plus escalator helped him for 6 minutes at the rate of E steps per minute, 6E. Whereas in case of Tarak, he was there on the escalator for 5 minutes and he took 11 steps a minute. So 11 into 5, 55 steps he took. And since he was on the escalator for 5 minutes, escalator helped him for 5E. Whether it is Charan or Tarak, the total number of steps on the escalator should be same. So this is 36 plus 6E is equal to 55 plus 5E. So on simplification, I will be getting E is equal to 19. So that is, the speed of the escalator is 19 steps per minute. Had you asked to find the speed of the escalator, this would have been the answer. But in this question, again, we are not asked to find the speed of the escalator. We are asked to find how many steps on the escalator. So substitute E value in any of these two equations, either this or this, you will get total. So if I substitute here, 6 into 19, 114 plus 36, 150. Therefore, the total number of steps on the escalator is 150, which is option 4. So this is about problems on boards and problems on escalator. I hope you understood. If you have any query with any of these questions, you can post your queries in the comment section, and like my video if you like the explanation. Do comment and then share